First of all, we want to thank everybody for coming out here today. It is very cold out here, so we will keep this as brief as possible. My name is Eva Magnuszewski. I'm the City Council President. Last night, I was made aware of some misogynistic remarks our former mayor made about women. And basically what I want to say in today's climate, in today's environment, his insensitivity to women won't stand, and we are calling on the Chamber of Commerce to ask for his resignation or fire him. We need somebody to represent the chamber who isn't going to offend women in such a public way. Those remarks were mean, they were cruel, and they were unnecessary, especially in today's climate with the Me Too movement. We were elected in November 2017. This is the second time since the council was elected we've had to deal with the ramifications of his statements. The first statements were racist. They offended an entire community. This time he insulted Democratic women. This won't stand. I'm asking the Chamber of Commerce to ask for his resignation or fire him if they can. Thank you.
My name is Carlo Carlozzi, and I am the Majority Leader of the New Britain Common Council. I've been on the council this is my 10th year. There have been some other incidents in the past where people have said, will there be a press conference? And I never felt that the incident was of that magnitude that we should be calling for one. Last night, however, was the breaking point. This former mayor has made the comments in the past, but not only the comment last year when he called a certain neighborhood residents inmates. From after that incident, he basically said, I'm resigning from Facebook, but a month later he was back on Facebook. He has made a number of rude and crude comments on Facebook about opponents of his or people that he thinks are opponents, or people don't say nice things about him, or policies that he supports. He's constantly criticizing people. I've known Tim Stewart for probably 20 years. And, you know, when you look at his record, you would say, goodness, he's done, a lot of things in the community. But unfortunately, the former mayor has a way of ruining all that by being hell-bent on making these rude and crude and vile comments. And last night, when I was made aware of what he said, it was like, that's it. That's the final straw. And that's why we're here today. I have been in contact with the mayor's office today. I was informed because our reason for getting together tonight, or this afternoon, was not only to say that either he needs to do the right thing and resign from the chamber as the president. You look at the chamber and you think of the chamber as one that wants to recruit businesses to not only New Britain but to Berlin. You look at the chamber who wants to recruit minority businesses into town. And you can't have somebody who's the face of the chamber be someone who has such misogynist thoughts and being such a racist. You just can't do it. And you just say, how can this person stay in office? So last year there was a call for him to resign, and the chamber board ignored it and did nothing. Today he was placed on administrative leave. I am now asking for former Mayor Tim Stewart to please do the right thing, resign. No one provoked him. No one provoked him with these comments that he put on Facebook last night. He did them on his own. The comments about inmates that he made last year, he did that on his own, unprovoked. He made other comments that we've been made aware of today, where someone posted a photo of themselves with Nancy Pelosi, and his comment was, is that her third or her fourth facelift? How can you say those things in public? What are you really thinking in your mind? This calls upon what he is really thinking. What is his DNA really made of? Is this person that bad? I would like to think not. I would like to think that these comments come out at some moment of indiscretion on his part, but he can't continue in the positions. I have been told by the mayor that the mayor did call on him to resign from the Mattabesett District Commission and to also resign from the School Building Commission, something which we have been seeking for quite some time and talking to the mayor and her staff about. She called for him to do that today. He submitted his resignation. The mayor has accepted it.
How concerned are you about the reputation to the city, or do you feel that by coming out that you will be able to make a statement here today that this is not something that you support?
This is intolerable. This kind of behavior for a public official, there is no place in civil society for it. You cannot represent the city of New Britain and its people and its businesses by having such attitudes and such opinions and voicing such comments. It's just intolerable. And
can you just remark on the mayor's response and handling of this incident?
So I have not personally spoken to the mayor. I did have a conversation with her staff member who told me. I do understand from looking at Facebook today that she was mortified and embarrassed. I don't think it's the first time that she's been mortified and embarrassed.
Do you think by firing him from the chamber and removing him from those two committees, is that enough?
I don't know what more we can ask for. I mean, he made comments, right? They're offensive, they're vile, they're crude, they're outrageous. So we don't want someone like that in a position of authority in the city of New Britain. We don't want them representing the city in any way on committees. And now the chamber should be doing the right thing. But I really think that Tim Stewart should be doing the right thing. I really think that Tim Stewart should submit his letter of resignation, not put the chamber board through this agonizing process of having to make a decision on his removal. There is no other choice, in my opinion, but to remove him. And I quite frankly don't know what else we could do to the person. I would just like to see Tim Stewart, if he has an issue, I would like for him to seek help on this issue. It's not tolerable.
Sir, why wasn't the last incident deserving of the same level of outrage and reaction? So a news conference such as this.
Well, there was outrage. There was outrage, but quite frankly, at that point, it was sort of like a one-off. Like, okay, he did something crazy. There was a lot of calls from the council, on the council public participation, that he should be removed. And we just didn't get anywhere. So we didn't bring it to this level at that point.
For many people listening to this news conference may not be aware of some of the comments that he made. Can you tell us what the former mayor said about a certain neighborhood that caused the backlash the last time?
Yes, so the last time he said the neighborhood was being run like inmates in an asylum. And this time the marks were derogatory towards women. I won't say them. And people can read them, and this is the second time. It's obviously a pattern of behavior. Other people have come forward and said the former mayor has thrown things at them, said mean things to them, and we just felt enough is enough. And at this point, and with everything going on with the Me Too movement, that backlash and this type of behavior towards women is unacceptable, and something needs to be done as soon as possible to prevent a third incident from happening.
Do you think Mayor Stewart needs to be out here talking right now, addressing this?
Quite frankly, that's a decision. That's one that you have to ask her. But when I parked in the parking garage tonight, her car was not there. So I think she's probably on appointment or someplace else. But that's something that you can have a discussion with her. We're here as representatives, elected officials from the Common Council, putting our voice behind this horrible incident and just calling out for his resignation. The mayor took care of two things that is within the council purview. So that would have been taken care of one way or the other. I thank the mayor for doing it so that we don't have to do it. Now I do call on them, however, to work with the minority leadership to make those appointments to both the Mattabesett District Commission, which is a council appointment, and to the School Building Committee, which is also a council decision as well. So I do call on the mayor to work with us to make those appointments and put this issue behind us and move forward. But the chamber still needs to take a very important step here.
Is there a message to the people who live in New Britain that this is not the culture of
New Britain, it's not just the culture of the City Hall, it's not the culture of New Britain. New Britain was built on diversity going back to 1880 when immigrants first started coming to this country from Europe and elsewhere. I mean, it used to be French, and then it was Germans, and then it was Irish, and then it was Italians, and then Poles, and then the Latino population. I mean, it's just, and now Koreans. I mean, it's just everything. So New Britain has always been a melting pot. It's always been a great city of diversity. I am very proud to have been born, raised, and educated in the city of New Britain and still live here. And it just causes me great pain when I see something like this harm done to our city. But enough is enough is enough is enough. This is just not tolerable any longer.
Thank you.
Thank you.